God bless you and Happy New Year. It's your boy Pastor G coming to you from Second Chance Church. Pray everybody's having an amazing year so far. This year so far is out of control. If people just losing their minds, but it lines up to what we are expecting in these last and evil and crazy days. Really quick, man, I was reminded by my brother some time ago. We hung out, and I remember one evening we was hanging out. He just kept yelling out Deuteronomy, and for some reason that kind of popped into my head last night. And I was cracking up laughing because it's like every 5 or 10 minutes he just look at me like Deuteronomy. And so Deuteronomy kind of stood out to me, not only with that, but looking at the calendar, it's January, tomorrow's January 8th. And I was like, well, what's going on? I know a lot of pastors and preachers are doing this. They're looking at 2024 throughout the scriptures. Deuteronomy 2024 talks about possessing the land. I hope they talk about what it says before then, as well as what you shouldn't be doing from the law standpoint. But that's a whole nother sermon for a whole nother day. But I was looking at January 8th, man, because not only is it the week of my oldest baby's birthday on the 11th, then my youngest baby, my baby girl, is on the 31st. But just I'm huge on like different things coming together in numbers and things like that. But Deuteronomy stood out to me. Deuteronomy 1:8 says, "See, I have given you this land. Go in and take possession of the land the Lord swore he would give to your fathers, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and their descendants after them." So if you read through this story here, this is where Moses is talking about the possession of the land. But what I wanted to jump down to is where he was talking through how God had told him to go out and get the land. They said, sure, we can do it. But then they say, okay, well, first, before we go and possess the land, the Lord has promised us, let's send some spies over there just to make sure that it's straight. So he sent spies out. This is down in verse 19. And then they came back and it was like, yo, the land is fire. However, there are giants over there. There's people that's bigger than us. We look like grasshoppers compared to them. And so what happened is towards the end of this chapter, God said, well, not only because your people were afraid, Moses, they're not going to possess the land, but not only they won't possess the land, you won't possess the land either. So I don't want to just paraphrase. I want to give it to you. So it's a lot to read, but I'll jump down to verse 19. It says, "Then as the Lord our God commanded us, we set out from Horeb and went toward the hill country of the Amorites through all the vast and dreadful wilderness that you have seen. And so we reached Kadesh Barnea. Then I said to you, you have reached the hill country of the Amorites, which the Lord our God is giving us. See, the Lord your God has given you the land. Go up and take possession of it, as the Lord, the God of your ancestors, told you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." Then all of you came to me and said, "Let us send men ahead to spy out the land, and for us bring back a report about the route we are to take and the towns we are to come to." The idea seemed good to me. This is Moses. So I selected 12 of you, one man for each tribe. They left and went up into the hill country, and came to the valley of Eshcol and explored it, taking with them some of the fruit of the land. They brought it down to us and reported, "It's a good land, and the Lord your God has given us." The Lord our God is giving us. But you were unwilling to go up. You rebelled against the command of the Lord your God. You grumbled in your tents and said, "The Lord hates us. So he brought us out of Egypt to deliver us into the hands of the Amorites to destroy us. Where can we go? Our brothers have made our hearts melt in fear. They say the people are stronger and taller than we are. The cities are large, with walls up to the sky. We even saw the Anakites there." Then I said to you, "Don't be terrified. Do not be afraid of them. The Lord your God, who is going before you, will fight for you, as he did for you in Egypt before your very eyes, and in the wilderness. There you saw how the Lord your God carried you, as a father carries his son. All the way you went until you reached this place. In spite of this, you did not trust in your Lord and the Lord your God, who went ahead of you on your journey in fire by night and in a cloud by day, to search out places for you to camp and to show you the way you should go. When the Lord heard what you said, he was angry and solemnly swore, 'No one from this evil generation shall see the good land I swore to give your ancestors, except Caleb, son of Jonapith. He will see it. And I will give him and his descendants the land he has set his foot on, because he followed the Lord wholeheartedly. Because of you, the Lord became angry with me also, and said, you should not enter it either. but your assistant Joshua, son of Nun, will enter it. Encourage him, because he will lead Israel to inherit it. And the little ones that you said will be taken captive, your children who do not know yet good from bad, they will enter the land. I will give it to them, and they will take possession of it. But as far as you, turn around and set out toward the desert along the route to the sea. Listen, really quick for a subject, if I had to use a subject, I would say, you better quit playing. You better quit playing. God, thank you. You're dope. Thank you for your word. Thank you for still breathing and living today, God. Thank you for this year called 2024 that we are living in time, but you are looking over in an edifice and a vapor of time for us. Now, God, allow this word to go forth to penetrate the hearts of your people, including mine own. In Jesus' name, amen. You better quit playing. Really quick summary. If what you just heard, Moses is sitting here recapping a story of when they were led out of Egypt to these Israelites. And now he's saying, now I'm going to take this new land. And now here they are, shook, scared, and sucker soft again in the presence of God. God gets irritated and say, you know what? I'm sick of this. I led y'all out of what was impossible before. I just did this. I just led you out of Egypt. And now I'm telling you to go do something else, and you don't believe me again. That's it. You can't possess this land. Matter of fact, not only can you not possess this land, your leader, Moses, who ain't even got nothing to do with this right now, who ain't even doubting me, he can't possess the land because he can't influence the people to believe enough that I'm going to be able to take them through it. So go ahead and get Joshua prepared, Moses. Encourage Joshua, your assistant, to possess what I had you go through all this hell and high water through. Have him get prepared to go ahead and see. You're gonna see it, but you can't possess it because you don't believe enough. My word to you is, you better quit playing. Because what's happening is you're sitting around a table with folks who are sucker soft and scared to go in and possess the land. And you've been wondering for so long why you can't possess what you see is right there. You got to look at who you're surrounded by. You got to look at who's in your camp, kind of like they said here in this story. These folks went out there, they camped the land, they went out there, but it says they went back into their tents at night and they was complaining, like, yo, did y'all see how big these people were? They and King James Version says we're like grasshoppers compared. They're like grasshoppers compared to they're gonna kill us. They're huge. We can't do this. God says, I don't operate in the spirit of fear. When I tell you that I'm gonna deliver and decree and give you something, all you gotta do is go possess it. Now here's the thing. I ain't say, yeah, you're going to possess it by just walking in and somebody's just going to hand over the title and the deed to you. Yeah, you might have to throw some hands. Yeah, you might have to smoke some folks, but you're going to possess it if you trust and believe my word. You are waiting and then sitting on your sitting on your destiny, sitting on your business, sitting on your purpose, sitting on your resignation, sitting on whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing because you are afraid of the people or you're afraid of what you see. And God has already told you, you can possess the land. But I'm telling you, go ahead and keep playing. He going to tap you and say, hey, do me a favor. Can you teach them? Can you teach them? Can you train them? Can you train this person who works for you today how to do your job? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it all over to them because you don't believe enough. And what I'm going to do is not going to allow my word to come forth. See, here's the thing. God ain't going to never speak nothing that's not going to come to pass. He says that I'm going to make sure that this thing is going to work until the very end. So it means that if he got to do it without you, God ain't got no problems with that. You think he won't replace you? Don't be sitting around here let Beyonce get you messed up thinking that you're irreplaceable. You can be replaced around this joint. He'll take somebody off the street to do what you're supposed to do 10 years ago if you keep playing with it. God has ordained you. He has anointed you. He has appointed you. But you ain't got too much more time to keep playing with him. Stop playing with my name, man. And then what baby said, y'all stop playing with my name. Put some respect on my name, man. That's what God is saying right now. Put some respect on my name. I just led you out of Egypt. I just led y'all out of hell. I just led y'all from death. Not only did I lead you out of Egypt, I sold you again when I led you out of Egypt, that I let them come up and run up on you. And I parted the Red Sea in front of you. And you walked along the sharks and the fishes. And I took you through a museum of the ocean that nobody will ever see again. That they can walk and look on both sides of them and see that they're there are sharks and whales and guppies and tilapia. I ain't never seen tilapia swim, but whatever. And see all type of fish and everything, octopus and things of that nature, things that have been wreckage under the sea. They saw those things on both sides of them as they walked through on dry land. And you still don't think that I can, if I can bring you through that, and you don't think that I can allow you to possess this thing that I told you, you got to, let me tell you something. We have to stop giving so much power to what we see, for we walk by faith and not by sight. God is not that type of God to where it's going to make sense to you, because it's a matter. He think what he says that my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. We are not like him. We are carnal. He is not. So if he says he's going to do something, yeah, it's going to sound impossible, but that's because he sees beyond what we see. Here's the last illustration I'll give to you. I'm here at my house right now. I'm going to the store. I know exactly where the store is. However, I can even put it in my GPS and say, take me here. And it'll say, this is the approximation of where you're going to go. Before I get somewhere, it tells me where the greens and the yellows and the oranges and the red areas are, meaning how hard and how light the traffic may be. And it adjusts the time to tell me how long it's going to take me to get there. However, it's up to me to say, am I going to take an alternate route, or am I going to stay the course? Am I expected to, I'm here, I'm 20 minutes away versus I'm 15 minutes away. Point is, even though this technology can tell me how long it may take me or estimate how long it'll take me, I'm still not privy to knowing what else could happen on the way there. However, all I know is my destination is this. My destination is Publix. I want to get to Publix so I can go to Publix and buy me some chick, I guess. That's my destination. It's saying it's going to estimate me 3 minutes to get there, but I don't know that a truck just overturned 2 minutes away from here. I don't know that there's been a car accident up on Arcusi. I don't know that. However, it's determined on, am I trusting enough and believing enough that I'm still going to reach that destination? God is giving you a destination. And what you're doing is you're allowing to, what you see is traffic in your life, obstacles and things that you didn't anticipate because you thought it was just going to be given and just be so easy. Then here's the thing. When God says he's going to give you something, it ain't necessarily meaning that you're just going to walk into that joint. You're going to still have to put in some work. But we work with the faith and knowing that he's going to he already promised you that. He promised them, yo, you're going to get the land that flows with milk and honey. Deuteronomy, and it says here that, yo, let's before we go out here possess the land, let's check it out. Like, I'm telling you that it's a land that flows with milk and honey. I'm telling you what's there already. I am the Lord your God. Well, how much more long it goes even to the New Testament when he was sitting with the disciples and he even said, my goodness, how long must I be with you disciples that y'all don't trust and believe me? Peace be still. Y'all just don't get it. And I see how frustrating Jesus could get with people, whereas it's the Father that's the same way. Where it's like, how many times I got to tell you? How many times I got to prove to you? How many times I got to show you? How many times first of all, who is you that I got to prove to you that I'm God? I created you. How can we trust folks that have been created, but don't trust the creator? You better quit playing with it. 2024, this is the year for you to go in and possess the land. I'm not sitting up here doing that pastoral, oh, this is the year. No, you better quit playing with it, because here's the thing. Ain't nobody waiting on you. God is not waiting on you no more. Now, I said what I said. He ain't waiting on you. You keep on playing with it. He's gonna have you train and mentor somebody who works for you today to do what you're supposed to do, because you keep playing with it. That's what it is. And you're gonna miss out on the land. You're gonna see them stand up the land. You're gonna see them set up the grand opening. You're gonna be invited to the party, and you're gonna see them cut the red tape, and you ain't gonna be invited in, because you didn't do what you were supposed to do to possess the land that he promised you. Now keep playing with it if you want to. Take the land. Is you, and I know I said the land without the D. It's yours. He promised it to you. Why would God promise something to you and then not let it come to pass? And he didn't lie to Moses. They did have the land. He said, okay, the land is still going to be possessed, and it will be possessed by you, but not you, your people, which is a lineage of you, which is a descendant from you. So I still kept my word. You just didn't step into it because you didn't trust me enough. You just didn't step into it because you let the folks that sit around you talk you out of it and make you say, yeah, I heard. And you saw what Moses said. He's like, yeah, y'all shared with me the plan to go over there and scout it out. And I thought it was a good plan. So Moses, you trying to tell me What I said wasn't good enough? And they coming back and having a meeting and coming back to you and say, hey, Moses, 12 of us want to go over here and look. Hey, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So many of us, preachers, teachers, pastors, leaders, business owners, everything, we are missing out on opportunities because we're trying to get so much input from everybody else, from the board of directors, from everybody else, from the deacons, and from all of my homies and my girls. Hey, let's have a meeting and sit down and talk. Not everybody's sitting in that meeting and sitting at that table. If you think about it, Judas sat at every table. Judas sat at every meeting. Judas passed the bread and drank out of the same cup. Not everybody sitting at that same table with you is telling you, yeah, I'm with you. And really are, yeah, with you. Come on, man. Keep on playing with it. And you're going to sit there and you're going to watch somebody open. You're like, man, I could have did that. Dang, I should be doing that. Man, I can't believe it. And you're going to miss out on the land. Keep on playing with it this year. I hope and pray that helped you. Deuteronomy. As my brother Bruce told me, man. I pray that this does something for you as you step into possession of the land this year. Don't be shook. Don't be scared. I don't care what the numbers look like. I don't care what the asking price is. I don't care what. If the Lord decreed that this is for you to possess, you better go in and take that joint and step in that joint like you know who led you through the wilderness before. He said, this is the same God that led you through a pillar of a cloud by day and fire by night. He led you through the wilderness. Why don't you think that he'll do this again? If he did it before, all right, I'll holler at you, man. You better quit playing with it. Go in and possess that joint while you still can.